Good evening and welcome to our post-game women's volleyball press conference. We will start the press conference with an opening statement from head coach Tyler Hildebrand. Then we'll open it up to questions from the media for coach, along with players Cameron Bacon, Katie Kennedy, and Zayna Meyer.
Thanks, Lindy. Well, first thing we talked about today was obviously we're all wearing pink, and everyone has someone that's been touched by breast cancer and affected by that, and so I thought it was a really cool way to honor that. And the girls had someone I play for, someone that maybe was in their life that has been affected by that, and I had one of those, and my wife's mom, and so it's cool when you're able to bring recognition to that and then play the way we did. So I'm proud of that, and that stuff. There's more important things in life than volleyball. So that's the first thing. Second thing, UC Davis has had a good season, a really good season so far. They're one of the better blocking teams in our conference, and teams don't hit very well against them. They've had low hitting percentage. Their opponent's hitting percentage is low. They just came off of two really close matches against Pauley and Santa Barbara last week. So we wanted to respond after two tough battles last week, and the team really did, and our coaching staff did, and so we're proud of that, and hats off to them for having a good season, thus far. But we hit 404 tonight, which is the first time we've hit over 400 in a match, since I got here. So proud of that. I think you guys, Matt and Lindy and Alex, you guys hear me every week talk about we're getting better at offense. It doesn't happen every set, but we're having more and more sets, and we hit 556, 400, and 297, but on JP stats, we hit over 300 in all three. So, proud of the team tonight.
Coach, this is a UC Davis team that doesn't get swept often or doesn't even have three-set matches often. They've been able to take a set off of pretty much every team or win a match. Did you say anything before the third set, or were you able to just have this team just keep rolling?
Something that our team does really well is they communicate well with each other. They're not afraid to be a little vulnerable. They talk about what their goals are, maybe for a match or a day. And I think one of the cool things, Tia Chavira, who's I said a million times, but we're going to really miss her next year, and we're going to miss Katie next year, and Nikki, everybody. But she's a great leader, and her win, lose, or draw was, I'm going to try to make sure the team knows the job's not done. Because we played good sets last weekend. As we talked, you look at the numbers, I mean, we out-hit. If you look at the 10 sets, we outdid everything. But we didn't get the job all the way done. So that was her thing, and she did a good job, and that was a message to the team as a leader, and so they got it done tonight.
Zayna, 7 kills, no errors on 10 swings, and some of them were really swings tonight. What were you able to see out there offensively?
I'm glad what did you just say? You were able to see out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, we were just working on it the past couple of days, because usually when I dump, I don't really look. I'm just like, well, sometimes I do, but it's usually after the fact, and I'll just do it anyway because I'm like, whatever. But we were working on it the last few days of just like me feeling the blocker and where they are. And I was definitely able to implement that a little bit more tonight. And then also working on out-of-system hitting, and I think that's just kind of freed me up to swing a little bit more, just getting some more reps doing that, which is pretty awesome. But it was fun.
Speaking of out-of-system, Cameron and Katie, both of you were able to not only just take advantage offensively, but also able to start free ball opportunities from UC Davis. You were able to bump it up and keep everybody in system, and sometimes that's easier said than done. What were you able to do today, not only offensively but defensively?
One thing we work a lot on as middles is like staying calm with plays like that. If we get a block touch and then have to play it, or if we're covering, or free balls coming over and they're coming to us, a huge thing that we have to focus on is like making those touches good and allowing our team to have an offense through that. So I think we both did a pretty good job of staying calm, and that's a big value for our position.
Mm-hmm. Same with Katie. I think my goal tonight was just to start strong right from the start, and I think I did a good job at that, and it was really cool to come off the court and see Katie doing her job, and then for me to go back in and just try to piggyback off her.
Yeah, that's a good point. It was a very good start going to the middles, and it was successful pretty much all night long. So for all three of you, what was working? What were you saying in being able to take advantage of the middle attack?
I think for me, just we worked really hard on offense this week at practice, and I just wanted to come in and do the things that I'm working hard on and just go out and be brave and do it. So, yeah.
It also helps when our passings stick in it. So they did a great job tonight with like some tough topspin serves. They were able to get those passes to the net, and Zana always does a good job at spreading the offense so that the other blockers aren't really like, camping right in front of us. So yeah, I thought the whole team contributes to something like that of middles being efficient on offense.
Yeah, I think I've just always trust them to get the job done, and it was really cool because they kept going. It was like they started off really strong, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna keep feeding them. But UC Davis just wasn't able to stop them, so it was really cool just to be able to keep that going throughout the match.
Got to fit at least a neutral or slightly negative question in there, but there was 4 fans that were confused about there was a rotation violation in the middle of the match. What went on there from anybody on here to answer?
It was a kind of standard row one. I mean, our row one looks different, but I was a setter. Doesn't matter what match you play in, a setter's going to leave early in row one because they're either behind the outside hitter, and in our row ones, it has to be even deeper. So it was a absolutely normal situation that happens every single match, and both refs did a good job tonight, but he decided to call it at a pretty important point without any warning. As a setter, as a coach, though, you get a warning 85% of the time. If it starts to get close, hey, just kind of remind that person. I think the goal there is so that they don't call something minor like that. But we have to look at the film, but I think Xana was probably a little bit out of rotation. But yeah, there's 5 to 10 out of rotations minorly in every single match in terms of when someone's running a middle or so. But it's good, something good for us because of our Xana has to get all the way in the corner. It's something we'll remind her of. It's not all Xana's fault, but we'll remind the group of hey, let's, because we are a little funky, they might be watching it. Let's try to be on it. And
tomorrow, UC Riverside, lots of energy coming from that team, and it's a different team. What's the focus for the Highlanders?
Yeah, they were 3-3 going in this week in conference, and that's Nikki's a friend and a great coach, and reinvigorating some energy into that program. These guys do all the blocking defense till the day before when I get to watch. So I actually haven't watched them, but they're always a really tough serving team. I think last year they led the conference in aces. So we have to prepare for that. Tonight they had I think 3 tape aces, or at least Xana's got 3 airs. JP, were those all aces on tape?
Why are you doing with me?
Oh, Xana got an out of rotation, an air, and an air. So we passed a 2-7, but without those 3, which are kind of a little bit uncontrollable, we would have been well over a 3. So that was a response from Northridge because we didn't pass well against Northridge. So I think we have to focus on being able to pass their serves, and then attack them and get them out of system because they're pretty good in system right now. But out of system, then we can, hopefully score points.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.